So we're back again, and joining me this time, Martin Cobley, and then we are very pleased that Tim from Chaos Cards could take some time out of sound. Well, it sounds like what is a very busy schedule currently.
At the moment, it seems to be, yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much for coming on and chatting to us. So Chaos Cards. So you are one of the owners and directors.
I am indeed. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. My brother started Chaos Cards before I joined. I was actually in sort of local government work, and then I went into university later. And I came out of university, and then it got to a point where he needed extra help, and I was desperate for any kind of paid employment. And yeah, it's just gone from there. So it's now nearly 30 of us here.
Yeah.
And every hour of every day.
Yeah.
So I'd like to know where the name Chaos Cards came from. Was it just it kind of rolls off the tongue with cards?
I take no credit or shame for it. It was Tony. He obviously just decided that's what he wanted.
I'm a big fan of alliteration, so it's good.
Yeah, it started off as a place. We bought a site called the Card Seller, which was the first business that we had. And that was a very small website literally off the shelf. Someone had built it and they never got around to using it. Right. And we bought them on eBay, which is where the business mainly started from. And then 2011, I think, we changed it over to what we currently are now. So pushing 10 years.
Well, very good.
Nice.
Because you are do a lot of obviously the collectible cards and stuff you're known for, as well as the board games and just so much stuff on your site these days, isn't there?
Yeah, well, the main site started with Tony. Tony was a big Magic the Gathering player,
right?
Which he then sold his collection off through one of the many Magic players' fits of rage. Never playing this again. Selling it. And that started the eBay shop, which then became a business account, which then became the full thing. I go more towards board games than he ever did, which is kind of a lot of my time here spent doing. He knows Magic inside and out, left, right, and centre way more than I will ever fathom.
Cool. And so, what are some of your favourite games? Would you say, Tim?
The last year or so, I have got near absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I have no time. I see boxes and I go, "Ooh, look at that!" And that's as close as I've got. Everything. The ones that we do staff nights down the shop every so often, and the things I always end up playing the kids' games. Rhino Hero comes out and Ice Cream comes out, and we've had the whole pitch car range downstairs now with the Hyperloop thing, and I sort of look at that, and the inner 5-year-old in me just gets very, very excited.
Yeah, very cool. I was so not looking forward to lockdown, but in a way I was like looking forward to just getting loads of games played during lockdown. I think I've only seen at least one physical game.
Problem is, unless you're furloughed, it's really quite difficult to do that. And homeschooling as well.
Even when you've got the the little things to do, like you need to go and get the shopping, or you need some food, it's taking that amount longer. Actually, even if you've got extra time, it's being eaten up by having to keep your distance and go at proper times. Things you're supposed to do. Yeah. I came in we had 4 other volunteers to stay on here when all the office staff were obviously at home. So they've carried on. Some of the warehouse staff went off because we couldn't keep that amount of people in the building safely until a lot of changes have been done. And obviously all the shop staff are still furloughed because the shop's closed, which is not what I was expecting in the first few years of having a game shop.
Yeah.
Well, you're not alone.
Yeah.
No. I mean, it's odd enough it was 3 years in April the place opened in Iceland. And not being able or not being down there most days, or at the weekends and when people are playing and in the evenings and going down there and seeing those people, that feels really strange.
Yeah.
So some of those people that have been doing had the shops for 20 years that you've already interviewed this morning.
Yeah.
I can only imagine what a loss that must be to just your whole identity of what you are.
Yeah, and I guess they've had to very quickly, as you said, they've been sort of more long-standing as bricks and mortar stores. They've kind of had to quickly adapt their business to kind of get used to having a web presence and stuff. But you've always had that more of a web presence. So
Yeah, we went the other way around. So we
Yeah.
started online and then opened the shop in the
yeah,
town,
yeah,
which we'd always wanted to do, because we spent a lot of time in our youth in the local Warhammer shop for all its sins,
yeah,
Maidstone, and it was always a plan. So we've
Yeah.
managed to get settled in a place, and Folkestone is lovely. So
yeah. That'll be
Start
Do
here.
you have a date in mind for when you're going to reopen the shop?
Not especially. I know the 15th is the official you can, but
Yeah.
I'm more likely to stay a little cautious. I'd rather the first couple of weeks of madness get out of the way,
yeah.
Yeah.
and then as safely as possible, release the staff.
I am quite curious to see if a lot of people follow that kind of rule and exercise caution, or whether it's just going to be utter madness out there.
I have no idea if day one
No.
every car park full and everyone going absolutely mad,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
if she won't be that much different to how it is now. And everyone's like, well,
yeah,
kind of learned to not go and get a Costa or coffee
absolutely.
uh,
Yeah.
every 5 minutes. And,
Well, the McDonald's opened up here for drive-through
yeah,
about a week ago, and you have never seen a queue. It was literally going out of the car park and up the hill, probably 30, 40
Yeah.
cars deep. It was like people had never had McDonald's before,
No, we had one of the guys came back today. He was supposed to be coming back off like a 3-week foreign holiday, but instead he's been in his garden in Dover. And he was saying he got caught in a 2-hour queue, which was near a KFC. Wasn't trying to get to KFC. It's just the entire left-hand side of Dover. Ground support as soon as KFC reopened.
It's funny what we hold dear to us, isn't it? As soon as we're denied these things, we just get absolutely mental for them.
Yeah. I mean, especially this neck of the woods where we're wall-to-wall coastline and the weather's beautiful.
Yeah.
You've got all these walks, you've got woodlands, you've got sea, you've got award-winning parks, you've got all of that, and it's when KFC reopens is when the most people are out on the streets.
Yeah. Our local Costa reopened yesterday, and we've resisted. I was like, "Should we go?" And Jenny was like, "Well, no, we've got a coffee machine at home. We make better coffee than they do anyway.
Yeah.
It's just habit." So you've got Darius, who I believe is probably a semi-regular. He's way over, even further out than you are. He runs Uncon. He's just asking about, because of the size of the store, whether you're going to be setting up like a one-way system.
That's one of the things that I've just had the warehouse more reopened than it has been, and so all the risk assessments we have to do as employers have all been done for that. All the PPE, all the masks, everything else, and then as the day I finished that, the government then announced that the shops are going to start reopening. So all right, next job is going to be that. I know for a fact when we open, organised play, etc., won't be back.
Yeah.
For the foreseeable. I imagine you would need hospitality to reopen and be safe and be shown to be safe before. Before not even if the customers be comfortable, before you could morally put tables out and tell everyone to sort of mash up some games. The store will be largely one way, and we're fortunate enough if we've got various sort of these pop-up stands and FSDUs and whatnot. And if we store those for now, we've got a very large downstairs space because we accommodated players in there as well. So put all that in the games room, we've got a very big rectangular room, and the shelves go all the way around the edge. So that's one thing that should be quite straightforward for us, is to have lanes and still lanes, and then we've got 2 sets of doors as well if we need them.
Yeah. Oh, very cool. And have you noticed much of a change in kind of how people are buying since you've kind of gone back to online only? Puzzles and board games have been busier than even a busy period of time. Right. But it's kind of different in that it's busy. I think a lot of people may be taking the time to play something they always wanted to play. Sure.
Whereas at Christmas time, for example, you'd be busy at whatever the hit was, or the Big 10 maybe.
Yeah.
So you'd just be endlessly shipping us all out the door. Whereas now some people have gone, I finally got the time for those GMT games. Wow. So run the table and settle in for a few weeks. So really, it's right across the range, like everything.
Yeah.
Anything and everything. The main one we saw as soon as Games Workshop said they were closing for a while, the paints were absolutely robbed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There was not a paint pot left standing in this building, or the shop, which I ended up going down there and stealing a lot of shop stock.
Wow.
We're allowed to, so just go down there for restocks, and they took all of it.
Wow.
I think there's a lot of people who've had a lot of painting projects set aside for quite some time.
Yeah.
They've all just sat there and gone, right.
Well, how often do you get 2-3 months at home, with very little else as an option to do? So
unless it's early retirement or something.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, indeed. I was commenting the other day as we were, because I'm sure most people have developed these little routes for walking and stuff now for your daily. When you're certainly a couple of weeks ago when you're only allowed out once a day. But we noticed everyone's gardens and houses were looking much tidier. Hardly any rubbish and that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, my half has pretty much transformed the back garden. And the dog's never been walked as much as it is right now.
Well, I was wondering whether we might ought to make it like an annual thing. We just shut down for a month. And it's like, National Tidy Up Month.
To do this without the awful connotations of why.
Yeah.
It was an imposed one. Take all the bank holidays and merge them into 1 week.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, everyone just stop. Just go away. Just stop. Be nice to each other. Be nice to yourselves. And just live.
Yeah.
No, it actually is
good work.
The pace quite pleasant. It's like being in a village again.
Yeah.
No cars. Is that people?
There's
very little.
Darius is asking roughly, I don't know, you might not have the knowledge off the top of your head, how many copies of Azul you've sold?
Forever or over this period of time? I mean, it's been limited by the number we can buy.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the lifetime of Azul, you're talking hundreds, if not thousands, quite easily.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't think anywhere's got it for us to restock, so it would be going out, and it's a wonderful game. So
yeah, it's good fun. I think Wingspan's just about to come back in as well, isn't it? So that should be interesting. See how long this printing of Wingspan lasts.
Probably already gone, isn't it?
Maybe so, yeah. But if you've very generously put up a bunch of different offers for people this weekend, so you can see the website code there if you go to chaoscards.co.uk/virtual-expo-I238. There's a bunch of offers on specific items, but if you use the code UKGE-BGTC, you'll get £6 off. We spent £40 or more. So thank you so much for that. That's really, really generous, and I think
really appreciate it.
So, I mean, this is, I think, the first year in 7 or 8 that we've not been at the expo. I would normally, at this point of the day, be sweating, lugging pallets in the stock room behind the stands. Well, I don't see anyone at the expo. I don't play anything. Most of the suppliers come in, say they couldn't find me, and go away again. Because I'm the little invisible man in the middle of the stand that is just pulling more out and pricing things, and pallets are coming left, right, and centre. But I mean, we've had the same team now there every year since the start, and it's a milestone in the middle of the year for us. We absolutely love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, your presence has noticeably grown in the last couple of years as well. I mean, you have one of the flagship stands there now in the trade hall for definite.
Yeah.
How do you choose which conventions you go to? Because obviously I've seen you at a few, but not all of them.
No, we've experimented with a few. A lot of the time, it's down to the timing of the event, because the speed at which the business has grown has meant that there has been something major happening every single year at different times of the year.
Yeah.
So we rolled out the expo last year and built an entire second story to the warehouse, whilst still operating one, which took up, so everything post-expo, before Tabletop Gaming Live last year, was written off because there was absolutely no way we could spare anyone or go anywhere.
Yeah, sure.
So, and that rolls into, every year I swear to myself I will go to Essen, just as a punter, and just, enjoy it. And every year,
wow.
David sits in the corner and goes, Tim, it's October, right? And we miss it again.
Yeah.
I highly recommend going, actually, particularly as a retailer. It's eye-opening, I think.
Yeah.
And you would be hard pushed to not come away with a whole bunch of stuff that you then want to sell on.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's an opportunity to get things that won't come out over here for possibly as much as 6 months or never.
Yeah. They can be.
And obviously it's a string to your bow then if you're offering things that you can't get anywhere else.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's on the list. It's been on the list. We made it. We made it through to the Expo and Tabletop Gaming last year. I think we did a small expo in Bristol, which was the first year for it, and it was some teething issues, I think.
Yeah.
We've held some pretty big events at the shop, and for Yu-Gi-Oh! And whatnot, we were at the Nationals for them.
Yeah.
We did EGX in Birmingham the year before. We've done a few sort of more pop culture rather than gaming.
How's your March sorted?
I think Lee is desperately trying to book it up.
It's a good one to go to, yeah. I'm sure Mark will agree. That's aircon, by the way, for those watching that haven't put pieces together.
Well, next year we were hoping to increase our exhibitor space again, because we want to try and make sure we have enough gaming space for everyone first, and so each year we kind of put a limit on how many exhibitors we're going to have. Next year we were going to go into bigger halls, but we've kind of decided to hold off for a year. If we're able to run next year, we'll see.
I know. I mean, a lot of things were kind of put on hold, planning for Brexit from our point of view.
Yeah.
We had the opportunity to move warehouses rather than build a second story, which would have given us operational space that would have been useful, but we decided to sort of tuck our heads down and just ball up and wait for the storm. And then a different one came along before, and you just sort of have to deal with that and then see what happens afterwards. So really, we're not even able to plan. 6 months.
Everything's
all going. I hope it would. The expo will be back next year.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. Oh God, I hope so. Yeah. I'm jonesing for an event of some description. I don't think we'll get any in this year.
Even if everyone's in their own Zorb form, they're just pounding their way through.
Sounds good.
It sounds painful. But...
Just a giant game of Terror in Meeple City.
Exactly.
But thank you so much, Tim, for taking the time out. It's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you once again for your generous offers. You can see them on the screen now. Get along to chaoscards.co.uk and enter that code. And there's just a ton of stuff on there. I just get lost in your website. So
the website will be updated very soon, which is the next big job. Just after this iteration has been there about 5 years, and it sprawls. Everything sprawls out, and then it was actually the job of doing the second floor. Made us actually look at everything, and you're going down every aisle, every single piece, and like, right, this maybe doesn't make that much sense anymore.
Yeah.
In terms of you want to find a thing, like, how can you? There are some big changes coming up.
Wow,
good to hear.
I look forward to that.
Yeah. Hopefully, sort of July, August time, but we will see.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you'll be. Maybe Lee will be posting in the group when it's all ready and done.
I don't think you can stop Lee talking. If anyone finds out how to, let me know. And I'm pretty sure he's downstairs watching this. So.
Well, he'll be pleased he got a mention anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much again, Tim. And
no worries,
we'll see you out. All the best.
You too. Thank you very much.